Have you ever wondered what would happen if all the wolves vanished from the forest? Or what if we removed bees from our world? At first glance, it might seem like one change wouldn't make a difference. And yet, in nature, everything is connected in ways that might surprise you. One small change can trigger enormous consequences. Today, we'll look at how ecosystems work and why you can't simply remove a single element without repercussions. An ecosystem is a complex system of all living organisms in a given environment, from the largest predators to microscopic bacteria, and their connections with their surroundings. It all works like a precise mechanism. Every organism has a specific role. Plants produce oxygen and are a source of food. Herbivores keep vegetation in check, and predators control population numbers. Even dead leaves or a carcass aren't waste. They are a source of nutrients for other forms of life. Let's imagine a simple food chain: grass, rabbits, and foxes. If the foxes disappear, the rabbits will start to reproduce uncontrollably. Their numbers will grow so large that they'll begin to eat more and more grass. Over time, the vegetation will be depleted, and the rabbits will be left without food. As a result, the entire population could collapse, and the area could turn into a barren wasteland. All because one link was removed. But that's just the beginning. Ecosystems aren't just about who eats whom. They also involve pollination by insects, decomposition of dead organisms by fungi and bacteria, water filtration by tree roots, and climate regulation by vegetation. Take bees, for example. Without them, many plants couldn't reproduce. Without plants, there's no food for herbivores. Without herbivores, there's no food for predators. So, a lack of bees doesn't just mean less honey, but potentially the collapse of the entire food system. In nature, there's something called ecological balance. It's a delicate equilibrium between all the elements of a system. Disturbing it can lead to unpredictable effects. Sometimes they are dramatic. An example: in Yellowstone National Park in the United States, wolves were absent for a time. When they were reintroduced, the deer population began to decline, which allowed plants to grow back. This, in turn, attracted more birds and rodents. Even the rivers began to flow differently because their banks were strengthened by the vegetation. One link rebuilt an entire ecosystem. This shows that every element, even the smallest one, matters. Soil bacteria, invisible to the naked eye, determine soil fertility. Yeasts on fruit participate in natural fermentation processes. Even scavengers like vultures prevent the spread of disease by removing dead bodies from the landscape. Modern human activity often introduces chaos into these complex systems. Deforestation, polluting rivers, introducing invasive species. All of this is like pulling random blocks from a Jenga tower. We may not know which move will cause the whole thing to collapse, but eventually, it will. That's why conservation isn't just about saving individual species. It's about maintaining entire networks of dependencies, the very ones that create stable and healthy ecosystems. Some species are called keystone species. Their presence or absence has an exceptionally strong impact on everything else. But the truth is, we don't always know which ones are truly key. Sometimes it's only after they're gone that we realize how important they were. And by then, it might be too late. It's also worth remembering that we, humans, are also part of ecosystems. We aren't outsiders, we are right in the middle of this complex system. We breathe the air produced by plants. We eat the fruit pollinated by insects. We drink the water that circulates thanks to nature. If the system collapses, the consequences will affect us too. And rebuilding a destroyed ecosystem often takes hundreds or even thousands of years. That's why every action for nature, whether it's planting a tree, reducing plastic use, or protecting endangered species, matters. Because in nature, nothing exists in isolation. And that's what makes it so beautiful, but also so fragile. If this topic has intrigued you and you want to understand more about how the world around us works, subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and share this video. Let's help others see how important these invisible connections that sustain life are.